Good morning and welcome to equaTEK TV episode 3. My name is Wendy Emerson. I'm the digital marketing director here at equaTEK, and today what I want to talk about is the importance of what you need to consider when you're hiring a digital marketing agency or a consultant. It could be an independent contractor who's going to handle your digital marketing. And we've been talking with a lot of clients and prospects lately about digital marketing and how to get started with that. And when I say digital marketing, remember we talked about this in episode 1. That could mean search engine optimization. It could mean email marketing. It could be social media. It could mean content strategy. It could mean 2 of those things. It could mean all of those things. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But how do you get started? And, so we have these conversations with companies, and what I keep hearing over and over is a line that sounds something like this. Well, Joe Advertising Agency says they can do all of my social media for $500 a month. Or maybe the number is $1,500 a month or $3. It doesn't matter what the number is, fill in the blank. But they get this proposal from a company or an independent contractor, oftentimes a freelancer. Nothing wrong with freelancers. Some of them are incredible. But that says, we'll do it for $500 a month. And so then my next question in the conversation is, okay, so what are you getting for $500 a month? And you get a lot of this. You start hearing the crickets. And then sometimes you'll get, after some hesitation, well, they're going to do my Facebook page and they're going to manage my Twitter account. Great. That's fantastic. But what are they going to do? How are they going to do it? What if your customers and prospects don't even use Twitter? And what if they're not on Facebook? What if they use SlideShare or LinkedIn or Pinterest even? Or none of the above? What if social media is not where you should be focusing your efforts and you should be looking at search engine optimization and email marketing? That's all a part of the digital marketing mix. And so to have a company come in or a contractor come in and say, yep, we'll do it for $500 a month, no problem, we can get started now, just make me an admin on your Facebook page. What's the content strategy? That's the next thing I ask. What types of content are they going to post? At what frequency? And who are they targeting? Do they even know? Or did you have a conversation with somebody who sounded inexpensive? So they said, yep, we'll do it for $500 a month. And so you say, okay, no problem, let's go, that's great. But do they know who they're talking to? Do they know anything about your products? Has there been any sort of investigation into what their plan's going to be, what their strategy is going to be? You see, anybody can post content for $500 on a Facebook page. Anyone can manage your Twitter account and preload a month's worth of tweets in advance and then forget about it. But you could easily be flushing that $500 down the toilet if it's not being done correctly. If it's not being measured and if it's not being adjusted on an ongoing basis, you're setting yourself up for failure and probably a very low engagement rate in your social media efforts. A big part of a digital marketing plan needs to be, what are you going to measure? Where are you going to measure it? How are you going to make the determination as to whether or not content or campaigns have been successful or failed? And if they do fail, what are you going to do about it? That all has to be a part of your digital marketing strategy. But then there's more, you see. There's more to the picture. There's a laundry list of things that should factor into your digital marketing plan or strategy, okay? Here's just a few of them, and there's probably 10 more things that we don't even have time to talk about. What are your current SEO search results and rankings look like, and what are your goals? Where are you at with SEO right now, and where do you want to be? Okay, that's important to understand. What is your current customer profile or profiles? You may have multiple markets that you're segmenting. If you're, for example, let's use healthcare, okay? If you're a healthcare provider, you may be going after patients, but you might also be targeting pharmaceutical companies or employer groups. I mean, you could have multiple markets, and you need to know who your customers are. What do those profiles look like, and where are they? You need to understand where they are so that you can make the right channel selections in your digital marketing strategy. You also need to understand your website. You need to do a full assessment of your web analytics and understand how your website's performing and what you need to do to your website that's going to impact your digital marketing strategy. And then, of course, your current marketing efforts. What are you doing now? What's working? What's not working? And what are your goals? And again, I said there's about 15 other things you need to measure. But keep this in mind too, and this is critical, okay? We talked a little bit, I think, in the first episode about how important the immediate reaction is to your website when your customer lands there, okay? So you could be doing all kinds of social media and you could be doing a fantastic job. So you're driving all kinds of traffic to your website. But if your website is in great disrepair, if your website is not easy to navigate, if your website takes too long to load, you're wasting your money on social media. It may be in your digital marketing strategy, you need to start with your website and either reorganize the content, update the navigation, simplify the homepage layout, create better landing pages. There could be a list of things you need to do to your website. Maybe you even need to rebuild it. All I'm saying is that if you're spending money on digital marketing, if you're doing email campaigns to 50,000 people or 5,000 people and you get 100 people visiting your website that are hot leads and they get to your website and have a terrible experience, again, you're wasting your money. So that's all part of the digital marketing assessment process. An auto mechanic can't fix your car without running diagnostics. And a branding agency can't create a logo and a brand identity for you if they don't know who your customers and prospects are. The same thing holds true for digital marketing. You need to do an assessment. And I would say the same thing with a website in general. Any company who comes to you and says, I can build your website for $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, whatever the number is, and they don't do that discovery phase, well, they're not doing you a service, because that says to me they don't really want to take the time to get to know properly your customers, your competitors, your markets, your verticals, your geographic location, all those things that go into an assessment. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is I'm saying that you need to partner with someone in your digital marketing and your website, whether it's a build, maintenance, redesign, content strategy, any of those things relating to your website, who actually wants to work with you to develop a proper strategy up front. Okay? That strategy needs to be developed up front, so you are not wasting a dime of your precious revenue on things that are irrelevant to your business, okay? And on things that may generate traffic to your website but are not going to convert into leads. That is such a critical element of your digital marketing strategy. I just wrote a proposal today for a company, and I'm recommending that they do a complete information restructure on their website before they do any social media, because I don't want them to waste money, that precious money that's going to generate traffic to their website and then have their visitors not be able to find what they're looking for. So partner with a company who cares about your goals, who cares about your customers, who cares about your markets. And we call that at equaTEK a digital marketing assessment. Some people might call it discovery phase. Call it whatever you want. We call it an assessment. And we do it with all of our clients to ensure that they are getting the biggest bang for their buck in their digital marketing dollars. So that's what I want to share with you today. You can leave a comment or question, or you can email me at marketing@equatekinteractive.com if you'd like to continue the conversation. Have a great day, and good luck with your digital marketing.